Live from San Antonio, Texas. This is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Well, before we start, don't ever talk about Tom Brady like that or Jack Mahomes. Before we get into any of that, can we give the Eagles their flowers before we get into the history deferred tonight by the Philadelphia Eagles, who prevent the Chiefs from not only do they prevent the Chiefs from winning a third straight Super Bowl, Rudy, the Eagles tonight beat the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs from start to finish. There have been blowouts in Super Bowl past, but it's been a minute since we saw somebody literally. They were the better team. The Eagles were the better team every single play. Every single play until the end when it didn't matter. An annihilation tonight. 40-22, the final score tonight. The Eagles are world champions as they annihilate a Chiefs team that was not ready to play. The Eagles just beat their ass on both sides of the ball, dominate the lines, frustrate poor Patrick Mahomes, never could get rolling, refused to let the Chiefs even get started until it was 17-0. And the Eagles flew high in Big Easy tonight. Their second championship in 4 years? Something like that. 5. Third appearance in 5 years, second and fourth.
I think they won in 2019.
Yeah, something like that. So welcome in here. It's In the Building. It's a Super Bowl edition. We got big announcements coming up. It's Rudy and Taylor and LG, and we want to hear from the people. We got money rolling in already. Thank you for that. Get the chat rolling tonight. You can jump on there with the super chat. You can jump in here and give us any and all takes. We want you to hear our big announcements coming up here in a little bit. We want to overreact to this game. And we want you to buy us a coffee if you want to. That's another way that you can contribute to the show. Help the people. Keep us on the air in 2K25. It is the Buy Me a Coffee link that LG will no doubt put on the chat site here in just a minute here on our YouTube channel. All right, man. That was an ass whipping. So I'm interested. Were you entertained by that? Were you bored by that? Because we always want a good game, but boy, the Eagles look awesome. And we talked about their depth. It was Mahomes the GOAT against the all-around depth of Philadelphia, and it was the Philadelphia depth that proved out tonight, man. So, where are you at on this?
Entertained? No.
Yeah.
there was a portion of tonight where I was entertained.
Yeah.
But then for the most part, no.
It was unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It was bad.
It was bad. Eagles win. That's it. The cool part is we can talk about the Super Bowl if you want a lot. Or we can get to our announcements quicker too tonight. Why not, right? It was a dog shit game. Like we said Friday. If it's a crappy game, we'll just get to our announcements and make it all about us. In the meantime, we got money, baby. We got money rolling in here. Ruben Pacheco just donated $4.99. Best birthday present I got today is listening to Mike and Rudy in the building, waiting for the announcements. Thank you, Ruben. Rib Zerzanowski just donated $100. The oligarch.
What?
The Russian oligarch is in the house. Thank you, Rib Zerzanowski. Just
$100.
He's a Russian oligarch. That's nothing to him. He wipes his ass with $100 bills. His servants wipe their asses with $100 bills. Yeah, so the money's already rolling in. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Rib. Your boy AD's in here. Worst Super Bowl ever. Probably not the worst ever, but so this was worse than 31-9 when Tampa Bay beat Kansas City back in 2021.
This isn't worse than Steve Young 49ers versus the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
You know what Super Bowl I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Bears beat the Patriots in 85. The 85 stud Bears. It was like 55-10 or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's not worse than that.
The Chiefs never competed when it mattered.
Never.
That was incredible. How I'm sure we can say they were unprepared, but man, I saw an Eagles team tonight that came out that just whipped the shit out of their opponent with an all-around performance. I didn't even see who won the MVP yet. I've said early in the game, hell, the MVP ought to be the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, who wins his first Super Bowl championship at 66 years old, one of the great coordinators in history. Who did get MVP, y'all? I was busy logging into the show and didn't even see it.
Me neither. I was on the
Did
road.
Josh Sweat win the MVP? He had like 7 tackles and 3 sacks. What a hell of a game.
I was coming home from a friend's house, which is exactly why I logged in right here. No, I didn't see it. Hurts.
Yeah.
They're gonna give it to them. They're gonna give it to a
Oh,
quarterback.
Hurts got it. Well, he was great. I mean, he was great. I mean, he was pretty great. Lots of folks in here. AD's upset. Even no NOLA artist during the halftime show. Worst Super Bowl ever. So they did have a tribute to New Orleans music before the game. Did you see that? Had you started watching yet?
No.
That was cool.
Before the game, they did the what's the word I could say? They did like the Southern. They did the New Orleans things.
Yeah,
they
the
did
jazz.
the New Orleans things prior to the Super Bowl. So yeah,
right. Doesn't count. And I was saying the other day, because we knew that Kendrick Lamar was going to do it and SZA was going to have an appearance, and I was thinking, and LG was right. It's silly that we don't have a New Orleans flavor to the halftime show, and maybe they'd roll a band out, maybe they'd roll some of the Zydeco jazz out, but they went ahead and just did a big tribute to New Orleans music at the beginning before kickoff, which was fine to try and make up for it. So that's accepted. Not perfect, but accepted. What did you think of Kendrick Lamar?
I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar fan. Like I don't ride around to his music.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
Look, raps. I do ride around to rap, and not a lot of Kendrick. Some.
What do you think?
You see me in my final rock
if it's a 1 to 10, I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6.5.
All right, I think it was a 7.5 to 8. Granted, I'm not an expert on Kendrick Lamar's music. I know that Kendrick won a Pulitzer about 5 years ago for "To Pimp a Butterfly," he's the first and only hip hop artist ever to win a Pulitzer Prize for literature. I know he's a genius at what he does. I thought the dancing was cool. The SZA appearance was neat. Serena Williams was dancing on the stage with people. I thought it was fine. I mean, we'll forget about this in a week, The Eagles win again. Yay. Great. The Cowboys share a division with a team that does everything the right way, with the best GM in the league, a championship-level quarterback who plays great in big games, with the offensive player of the year at running back, and with a defensive front that looked like the 1985 frickin' Chicago Bears, the way they dominated a Chiefs team playing in its 5th Super Bowl in 6 years. The Eagles front four, that was, and I don't want to overstep here because the Super Bowl's been around for 60 times or whatever this is tonight. The 85 Bears were amazing. The 92 Cowboys defense had 9 turnovers forced against Buffalo. This was the best defensive performance probably since maybe the mid-90s Cowboys, or I guess in a Super Bowl, where Mahomes could not do anything because of the front four. And when he did get 2 seconds of breathing room, nobody was open because the Eagles secondary covered up everybody. It was as complete a defensive performance as I've ever seen in a Super Bowl. So I'll have it. Maybe we could say it's tied for first with like 4 or 5 other teams. It was awesome and dominant. And now football's over, and I'm sad. I'm sad. We'll have to wait.
Are you sad? Are you really sad? Like, be clear.
I love football. I love football. Hate to see it go. Football's over, y'all. Bring back my football. Paul's in here. He don't want us to talk Cowboys. F the Cowboys. They should get no run on a Super Bowl Sunday. I agree. I agree, dude. You just as a person who grows up a Cowboys fan, to watch these teams, even the Chiefs that play for the championship every year, and then knowing that one's in their division, just to see how the Eagles do their business, where nothing matters but winning ball. It's got to be sad for the most hard up, diehard Cowboy fans. I am not one. I jump on and off their bandwagon all the time.
That's fine.
All right. At least Xavier Worthy caught 2 touchdowns. This was a shocking stat. He's the first Longhorn to ever score a touchdown in a Super Bowl. I would have never guessed that. You said name a Longhorn who scored a Super Bowl touchdown in history. I'd have been like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. No, first one ever. The kid had 2 of them, and obviously it was in junk time. But I don't know. There's your solace for Chiefs Longhorns fans. At least Xavier Worthy caught 2 touchdowns on a night which you got your ass beat. You and I have talked about Mahomes before, whether or not we think he's already past Tom for the greatest quarterback ever. How much does his legacy take a hit tonight by this shitting of the bed by him? Because he was not good either. Not that he had much chance to be good.
I won't shit the bed on Patrick, but it just reminds us why the NFL is difficult and why it's so tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so tough to win 3 in a row. There's a reason why Pat Riley, who we talked about all week, had to call the NFL and say, hey, Patrick Mahomes wins, we can work something out. It's so tough to win 3 in a row.
Yeah. They didn't get any calls tonight either. They got screwed on a couple, I thought. So all that, the refs are on the Chiefs side. That shit, either the NFL told the refs, hey, make sure we're not calling it for the Chiefs anymore. Call it straight. Or that was all a bunch of bullshit anyway. Because the Chiefs got a lot of penalties called against them. 3 or 4 that were ticky-tack. A couple that I thought were total bullshit. So at least that narrative that the refs liked the Chiefs better, thank God that went away tonight because the Chiefs didn't get any calls at all. I'm surprised Mahomes made it through the game healthy. That kid took a beating, and he got on the fumble he dropped back on the fumble late where Big Williams got his right arm, and then his arm's falling, and then another dude just crushes him in the face. His head went one way, his arm went the other, but no call. I was shocked they didn't call a 15-yard penalty on Philly.
To me, it feels like the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. He didn't have any time to throw the ball.
0. That was their game plan. Gronk was saying that. They didn't blitz to the fourth quarter. The Eagles didn't. They didn't have to. 4 guys wreaked havoc. And if you're the Chiefs, priority number 1. There he went. If you're the Chiefs, priority number 1 becomes overhaul the entire offensive line. They got their ass handed to them. And Patrick Mahomes ran around for his life most of the season. They might want to address their OL. Their defense was great in the regular season and in the playoffs till tonight. Not that their defense didn't get any help. Their quarterback's great. Their skill players are good enough. Their offensive line is shit. And they have got to find. They'll probably have 3 new starters on offensive line next year. They'll probably draft 5 of them. It's bad.
But this the thing. They didn't lose a lot of games this offseason. Not even offseason. They didn't lose a lot of games, so I can't blame the offensive line for this.
Dudes?
They beat Buffalo.
Oh, I know. I just finally came back to haunt them tonight, finally, against a team that was kicking ass.
No, they beat the Texans. They beat Buffalo. So I'm not about to give this to, the offensive line, blah, 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 woo. I'm not making excuses for them. They got their asses handed to them by the better team.
Mm-hmm.
Philly was the better team. This has nothing to do with the offensive line. Buffalo, blah, blah. No, they got their asses handed to them.
All right, we got to figure out who was closest to the score. Oh, yeah, both of our picks lost. All right, so you and I both picked the Chiefs. And so what we said on Friday was, in our closest to the score, it didn't matter because we didn't pick the winner. So here's, by virtue of us losing, both of us losing, at some point this coming week, you and I are going to do a show dressed in attire that DJ LG chooses. It is on LG to decide what we both wear on a show at
We'll
some
see
point.
if this
this
ever
week.
happens. I believe I'm
No, it's
still
happening.
owed payoffs. We never did any payoffs last year, not one.
Well, we're
Look,
making up for it in
you
2025.
see, here goes LG. Here goes LG with the bullshit. Here goes LG with the bullshit.
I won the bracket. I won the Final Four.
You
He
did.
Y'all still owe me. You're supposed to
I
clean my
know.
restroom. Still hasn't
You're
happened.
correct. Well, let's make that happen. Let's get this dressing thing out of the way this week. Let's agree to meet. Where are we going? Goodwill or some shit like that? That'd be a good place to go. Unless you've got
Whatever
clothes in
y'all-
there. I doubt you do. That'll fit both of us.
We'll figure it out.
All right, maybe a trip to Walmart or Goodwill is in order. So LG, it's on you to dress us. I'm thinking we do. We're off tomorrow because it's Super Bowl holiday. Maybe the Friday show. We'll do that.
We'll have a production meeting about that.
All right, let's have a production meeting on that. All right. So we'll pay it off this week. I want that paid off because LG's right. We were suckers about paying off last year. We're paying off this year, damn it. All right. The next person that donates in the chat, $40 or more, I'm going to give a pair of VIP tickets to the 2025
What is that?
Mike Taylor barbecue cook-off at the Boys and Girls Place, at the after-school place over on Woodlawn Lake at the Salvation Army. All right, so the Salvation Army Taylor Cook-Off is coming down May 17. These are 2 all-access VIP passes. They're $25 each retail, but do it for the kids. The next person that donates in the chat $40 or more, the next person that legit does it will score these 2 VIP tickets. So help me keep an eye on the chat here, boys, because the very next donation over 40 wins these 2 VIP passes. All right?
40!
All right. Since we're giving away stuff, congratulations. We owe money to 4 people. Congratulations are in order to the 4 Thunderdomers and in the building subscribers that won the quarters tonight on the 2025
Who
in the
was
building
it?
Super Bowl pot.
Who was it? Let's talk about it.
The first winner was a dude that goes by the name, and there, Dan Pod Valdez just won the VIP with a $49.99 offer. Thank you, Dan Pod. Dan Pod, reach out to me. Ribby just beat you, bro. Rib with another $50. I appreciate it.
Who won? Who?
Dan Pod. Dan Pod was first. He beat Rib by 5 seconds. Dan Pod, reach out to me, dude. Message me on somehow. Email. My email is miketaylorshow@gmail.com, or shoot an email to the Love You Hard page or on social media. Get a hold of me, Dan Pod. These are waiting for you, Holmes. All right? You just won 2 VIP tickets. The winners in the Super Bowl pot tonight that won $125. Rube the dude, who signed up at Slackers a couple of weeks ago.
My God.
Your boy Brian Whitener, who always comes into Texas Cheer Liquor. He won a quarter tonight, $125.
The Mexican Brian Whitener.
Yes, he is he's kind of like LG. What was the light complected dude on Blood In, Blood Out?
Chale.
Miklo.
What was Miklo? Orale, Miklo. Yeah, my bad, Miklo. Yeah, Brian Whitener's the Miklo of in the building. So Brian won, Rube the dude won. My buddy Dale Storbeck, PGA Dale, he won a quarter tonight. And then
Dale can't win.
He did. He won. He had 6 and 4.
Dale has too much money to win.
Well, he's going to probably turn around and donate this money. He already texted me, keep it, give it away to the kids or something. And then D. Perez, whoever D. Perez is, he signed up at Slackers too. Right there, it says D. Perez. I'm not sure who that is. I'm trying to picture his name. But reach out to me. So Whitener, PGA Dale, and Rube the Doob, I tweeted to them tonight. Reach out to me on a direct message. I'll take care of this. Yeah. But whoever D Perez is, get a hold of me, Holmes, because you got $125 coming to you. Chris Sneed just donated $4.99. Andele, what's the big announcement? Should we just do it?
We don't have no announcement. We don't got no announcement.
Sorry, I was kidding. April Fools. No. We got it. Let's get to it. Okay. Because as soon as we get to this will be the rest. This will be the rest of the show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want to do this right now? What time is it?
Rudy, we have to. We teased this for 2 days. No one gives a shit about the Eagles. They're all in here because they want to hear this.
Because the game was shit.
I know, but we have. That's not our problem. I mean, a deal's a deal, Holmes. We got to announce right now.
Let's do it.
All right. So before we do that, I will tell you that our show tonight is brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor. Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building. 7 locations in and around the greater SA area, 6 in San Antonio proper, 1 up in Barney. They got these flying off the shelves lit kits. I doubt Mr. Singh ever anticipated he'd have to produce that many, but he's got a whole new stock pool. It's a great way to celebrate a party or just hang out at home, weekend get together. These lit kits, you go in there and buy these things. All of the ingredients for the cocktails or the mixed drinks or whatever the particular one you buy is, all of the mixes are already in there. So you just take them out of the big jug, you pour them back in there, you stir them, you open up the spout, and off you go. It's the lit kits at Texas Cheer Liquor. So lit kits and all things purchased at Texas Cheer Liquor are always 5% off when you mention In the Building. 5% off all purchases at Texas Cheer Liquor when you mention us and In the Building. Not Mike, not Rudy, not LG, not the YouTubers. You have to say In the Building. Okay, without further ado. Actually, we have a couple of announcements here. We've got the undercard announcement and the main event announcement. But the undercard one, the undercard one's a big one. No, we're doing that first. Yeah, we're going to do that first. Then we'll do the main one. All right. So I want to reach out to anybody that's within earshot of this show that has an interest in looking at land. All right. So one of my many hustles these days is I do a lot of marketing for a really successful land investment company, real estate company, water well company. My boss owns a bunch of these things, and we own land all over the great state of Texas. And we also own, I say he, I help him market it. We also own a bunch of land all around San Antonio. So on March the 1st, all right, that's less than a month. We're 3 weeks away. On March the 1st, from 10 to 1, 10 in the morning to 1 p.m.-ish, I'm going to do a gathering outside of Floresville, Texas. All right, my first ever appearance in Floresville. We're going to have an open land look that day. All right, so in the morning, I'm going to post all of the details on this land thing. We're going to have food. We're going to have beverages. We're going to have table and chairs set up. We're going to take you on tours of the property so you can see we have tons of dozens and dozens of acres of land for sale, untouched land, trees, everything's still there. A lot of some of the stuff's already been plotted off. Some of it has not. You can buy many acres. If you're interested in buying Texas land, come out and hang out with us on the 1st of March. That's a Saturday out in Floresville. I'm going to post up information. Reach out to me. I'll give you all the details. Come hang out. I'll probably sell some barbecue tickets too that day. We'll talk sports. I'll probably go live on the station on the channel, or at least do a live chat on social. It's our land sale. It's a land opening, not a helm opening, not a house opening. Like, a lot of times real estate agents will have open houses. This is an open land look-see in Floresville on March the 1st. That's announcement number 1. And I'll give all the details going forth and put that on all of our socials. All right, people are getting pissed. They want to know the big announcement.
That is big.
Oh, that is big. I'm having a land sale. You know how badass it is to be a Texas land owner? Like, owning's better than renting, homes, especially when you got land. All land does in this state is quadruple in value within 5 years because, Texas. All right. I'm not selling timeshares, Julian. I'm selling land, player. All right. And here's the other one. All right. This is fun. I'm excited. Super excited, man. All right. Beginning Thursday, March the 6th. That was the shortest drum roll ever. On March the 6th, that is a Thursday, we are going to expand in the building, right? So we do 5 live in the buildings every day on our YouTube channel that get fed out on Spotify and all the other links. Sometimes we do 6 shows in a week. Sometimes we do more if you're a member. But we are going to expand. So for a year now, we've been In the Building podcast. Now, In the Building podcast isn't going anywhere. We're still going to continue to do In the Building podcast every day. Well, 5 days a week. But starting on Thursday night, March the 6th, ladies and gentlemen, I give you In the Building radio. Rudy and I are going back to radio in the San Antonio market starting March the 6th, okay? Now, some details on this. And this is the great part about this. So I've always wanted to work for an FM station or do stuff for an FM station. And all the years I've been in San Antonio, we had that weak-ass signal on the ticket. I always wanted to be on FM. So Rudy and I, on Thursday nights, just one night a week to start off with, just to see how it goes. Every Thursday night, beginning March the 6th, Rudy and I are going to be doing In the Building radio. And wait till y'all hear the stations we're going to be on. Our flagship home will be 92.1 and 98.9. They're on 2 frequencies. KLMO radio. That is the Tejano station. I'm not kidding. This is not a bit. This is not a bit. We're going to be on a Tejano station. Seriously.
LG, what the fuck?
All right. So when the station approached me, I replied, at the Tejano station? Yeah, we want you on KLMO. I'm like, okay. You know we don't speak Spanish. Have you seen Rudy? and and the guy's like, hey, 95% of our I'm like, you know we don't speak Spanish. He's like, hey, 95% of our listeners speak English, Mike. You're fine. It's gonna be great.
English,
Rudy and I
do you speak it?
Rudy and I are going to be doing In the Building radio every Thursday beginning March the 6th on KLMO radio. All right? In San Antonio. And here's what else. And there's more. We're going to be on 4 different stations. So without further ado, I need to remember all these. So In the Building radio will be heard every Thursday night at 6:00 p.m. on 92.1 KLMO in San Antonio. We're also going to be on Magic 104.9 in Corpus Christi. We're also going to be on Magic 95.9 in Victoria. We're also going to be on El Paso Internet Radio. So we're going to be on in El Paso as well. And not only that, Rudy and I are going to be on the Tejano, Texas Roku station. These are all stations that are owned by the Lopez.
So you can see us.
Yeah, these stations are owned by the Lopez Broadcasting Company. That's right. In the Building radio is going syndication, bitches. We're going to be on in San Antonio and Corpus, El Paso, Victoria, and Uvalde, because they have a little station in Uvalde. So technically, we're going to be on Uvalde is how you say it on that station.
No,
and the Roku. So there it is. There's our announcement. I don't want to hear no more old ass dudes. Oh, I sure miss you guys on the radio.
Talk your shit, Mike. Talk your
dude.
shit, Mike.
Hey, bitch.
Talk
So
your
I'm like,
shit, Mike.
I cannot tell you how many times this year I've been, oh, you're on radio. I used to like when you were on radio. I'm like, hey, dude, radio. Not only do I do more shows now, it's raw. It's on YouTube. We are unfiltered. We're unlimited. Well, yeah, but I just don't like to click on stuff. Okay. So I could not get these old fogies to come to YouTube. So you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go back to them. We're going back to them. They're getting one night a week. And I don't want to hear any bitching about us not being on radio anymore. So In the Building Radio on KLMO Radio here in San Antonio, Magic in Corpus, Magic in Victoria, El Paso Internet Radio, Tejano, Texas, Roku. So they wanted a sports show, an English-speaking sports show, and of course, they called you and me. How about that? Would you like to comment on this, sir? We're on a Mexican radio station. This is bad forever. Hey, Mexican radio bled through the ticket on my old show for years and years. Epic. Might as well just get on a Mexican station then. You know, why not? Might as well.
What's happening?
So it's going to be Tejano all day. Orale, on Thursday, Tejano. And here's the thing. And then it's going to be us at 6 o'clock. We're going to do 6 to 7. It's going to be a great, great hour.
Are we doing an hour?
Full hour, 6 to 7. And they also want us to do appearances. They want us to do remotes when we can. They want us to come out and show up to all their different events. So do you have a pair of boots? Because you might need to go get a pair. Just saying. Hey, you're gonna go out to Hano with me. You gotta represent.
I got a pair of boots. I'll figure it out.
All right.
No,
man.
I'm
all right. So there it is.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Here, say something about it. I'm gonna tweet it out while you're talking. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I'm
hyped,
excited.
Dude.
I'm excited. The chat is excited. But at the same time, I'm just like, damn. We're here.
Yeah.
Will the radio station show still have what? Great idea at Paul Morales. Also, a great idea. What did Paul Morales say? Everybody's saying Paul Morales has a great idea. I don't see what Paul Morales said. But no, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, me too, dude. I really am. And Rudy and I went and saw the station this week, and Rudy and I was a little nervous being in there. It brought back some old memories. It was nice. It was cool being in a radio station.
When I walked in there, I was like, damn. And I looked at Mike, and I'll post a video later. I recorded Mike. I'll post this video later. I recorded Mike like, damn, what are we doing here? Because, you know what I mean?
Expanding our fucking brand, dude. That's what we're doing. But I know what you mean. It was interesting. It was weird. I didn't know I was going to feel that way. It was interesting. I was nervous, but I was like, huh. You know, and let me say this too. So, look, I never anticipated being back on radio, at least not with you in this form. I mean, you never say never. You know, if you quit the show and LG moves to Indonesia and I need a job, then I would probably reach out to radio stations. But short of like all that kind of stuff, I never anticipated we'd take our thing to radio. I don't want to forget the Roku either. Shit, we're gonna be on Roku. I didn't think we'd do a radio show, but now we are.
We gotta download the app. 92.1 is important, but I would say
they all have apps.
Download the app, and also we are in a video era. We're in an era where everybody wants to see you.
Sure.
And we're on Roku.
Yes, sir.
We're on Roku.
Yeah. I got to dress decent now for a change and probably drop 10 pounds. That's fine. Gives me incentive to do so.
No, Paul said Anna
I'm getting a turkey neck.
Paul said Anna needs to be our... Yeah, my wife speaks Spanish. She could introduce us.
So does Nina. Yeah, we should get the girls to make our intro.
You know what?
That's a great idea.
That might not be a bad idea. Let Anna and Nina introduce us, Mike.
Yeah, we've got street cred over there because our girls are Mexicana. You know, that's good. I'm gonna show up to an event with Nina. They're gonna be like, "Hey, is that your Uber driver?" No, that's my boyfriend, a big white idiot.
Hey, chat. If y'all are Roku's, let us know in the chat if you're Roku people.
Yeah. I do catch. It depends on what's on. Like there's times where I'm just sitting here reading or whatever, and I'll have a Roku. I'll have the Roku up, no like network turned on. I've flown through some of the apps on there before. There's decent programming on there. Of course, now you can watch In the Building on the Tejano, Texas rodeo app. So I know there's good shit on there now, starting on March the 6th. So it's once a week. It's 1 hour on Thursday nights, 6 to 7 p.m. But the cool part is, if you don't catch the show, it'll repeat on their Roku channel every day until
They're
we do a new show.
rolling.
Yeah, they're doing great. They're building a brand new studio as we speak over in the Deco district in San Antonio off of Fred Road. And what I loved about being over there was it was not like iHeart was this giant corporate building. It was like walking into a hospital. It was fine, but I just felt like I had to dig deeper to come up with creativity walk into that like generic building every day. This station is an old school building. They're converting to a radio station. You could smell the paint when we walked in there the other day. They're building a Tejano museum, which is going to be really badass. So basically, they're building a Tejano museum on Fredericksburg Road that the radio station is inside of. And so if you go to the museum, you'll be able to see us in there doing our shows because the glass is all clear. But it just like there were guys in there hammering, measuring, putting up paint. And it felt like something new. And symbolically, it felt cool because I've always wanted to do a radio show with Rudy. And not to get emotional, because we've been doing In the Building for a long time, and I'm used to working with him. It's the first time that I get my wish. I tried to steal Rudy for 10 years when I was at the ticket, and it just never worked out. But now we're on regular old school, old man
Old
FM
school.
dad radio. And thank you so much to Humberto Lopez. Thank you to Homer Lopez. Thank you to Big Boy, their big producer over there, who'll probably be running our show every Thursday night. This is badass. So we're back on radio, bitches. So I don't want to hear any bitching. I wish I would go back to radio. You get your wish, a-holes, at least for one day. Thursday night, 6 to 7 on KLMO radio. Eric just gave us $50. Thanks, Holmes.
Thank you, Eric.
$49.99. Congrats, guys. Can't wait for it. Vicente Fernandez to lead into the show. This is awesome. More ways for us all to support. Love it. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, man. I anticipated that people would think this was a cool deal, and it's 100%. They're excited for us, and it's advancement, man. We got to broaden our horizons as In the Building and get our feet into as many buckets as we can. It may not all work, but we got to try it all, and we got to see what sticks, Rudy. So we'll see if the radio thing works out.
We're trying it
all.
all.
If we can do it, we'll do it. So I'm hyped for that. I'm excited for that.
I'm
all right,
super hyped.
Yeah, I just tweeted it out. We'll see what the replies are by the morning.
92.1. What's the app? Because I have the app on my
let's see. I've got the app on my phone too. Let's see.
Go to the app.
Yeah,
I need y'all right now.
Oh, the station just announced it on all their social media too. Oh, beautiful.
They did?
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. F y'all. Taylor going on Nick Sirianni with his tears. Shut up. I'm just tired. Oh, that leachy. So the apps, yes, sir. I've got them on here.
Because
the KLMO app.
What's the app?
KLMO.
Let me see it.
Right there. I can't play it on the show because it's going to be copyright. It started playing music. So, KLMO. And the letters are KLMO. So they just say K Alamo for all the obvious reasons.
K Alamo.
K Alamo. But it's KLMO. That is the app. And by the way, dude, I got to tell you, I have always thought that our show would do well in Corpus if we could just ever get into Corpus. If we could ever get into Corpus, I've always thought we would do well. Here's our chance, Holmes. We are now into the Corpus market.
Why are we so wait? So I get it. 92.1, it's here in town. You can listen
Sure.
to it on the app. But so
Yes,
we're
sir.
also in Victoria, Corpus, and El Paso Internet.
Correct. So the Lopez family they run an internet radio station in El Paso, which they will run our show. Magic 95 in Victoria, which is a pretty successful Tejano show in Victoria, will run it every week too. And they all, by the way, all of them have their own apps. There's an app for the Victoria station. There's an app for the Corpus Christi station. And what I'm excited for, there are a lot of people in Corpus that are aware of you and me, but this gives them an opportunity to listen to us on the radio now. We're going to get, hopefully, fingers crossed, the goal is we get a lot of exposure. A lot of people that live in Corpus Christi that don't know who we are yet are about to find out. And that really excites me. And it excites me for our YouTube show, too, because hopefully that's going to turn into way more subscriptions. It's like, hey, there's 1 hour of Rudy and Mike doing In the Building radio on Corpus Christi Magic 104. To hear Mike and Rudy every single day on their channel, go to Love You Hard TV on YouTube and watch In the Building there. So I'm hoping that this turns into it just blows up. We help their ratings on the stations on all these markets. It's gonna be funny. Umberto's gonna be like, "Hey, our Caucasian ratings have gone up 1,000%. Our African American ratings gone up 1,000,000% every Thursday. I wonder what's going on." Oh, we got folks in Corpus already checking in. George Cervantes, what's up, George? I live in CC. Bring In the Building in here. Love y'all hard. Oh, hell, so you're already getting people in Corpus reaching out. This is going to be great, man. I'm excited. Super excited. Very stoked. Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
That is a big announcement. That's a huge announcement.
Yes, sir. Dan Pod won the 2 VIP tickets. I got to make sure I don't forget him. I got to call him back. All right, so there's the announcements. And I knew once we said that no one's going to care about the Super Bowl anymore. It's pretty funny.
Well, we didn't care about the Super Bowl because it was a boring ass game.
Well, of course. Well, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Let's see. Marauders. You talking about 92.1 LA Lale? Yeah, same signal,
yes.
but it's KLMO radio. It's 92.1. It's now KLMO radio. But yes, same signal, same format, different name, different folks running it. Yep. But that's it, Marauders. That's it, Marauders. All right, show brought to you in part by Ribaldo Realty. My man Jay Ribaldo just had an In the Building subscriber list a house last week. Jay, by the way, is going to come out and hang out at our land sale on March the 1st down in Floresville. He's going to bring his partners too down there. So that'll be cool. You can interact with Jay. Come meet him, the official real estate agents. Come look at land. And talk to our agents. You know, it's my man Jay Ribaldo, the official real estate man. There's our new listing. His listing of the week is up there now. That's a 2-story house, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, almost 1,700 square feet for $254K. That's a $650,000 house in Travis County. That's a $380,000 house in Dallas, but in San Antonio, it's just $254,000.
Yeah. And it's got enough room for the game room. You see that pool table right there. So it's got enough room for the game room, but at the same time, room for everything.
You're on mute. Lost your audio there, buddy.
Mute. Mike, you're on mute.
Uh-oh.
You didn't even realize
Mike,
it.
you're on mute. Mike, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Mute.
You're on mute.
Mute.
You're on mute, Mike. Mike, you're on mute.
Oh, hello. My bad. Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong button.
There you go.
See, we are going to have a board up on the radio station.
Thank God.
Hey, LG, I put myself in queue. My bad, dude. It was an accident. My bad. That's why I need a board op. What was I saying? To hear all of Jay's listings, to see them all, you just go to the website, Ribaldo.com. Yeah, Robert Godina, you're right. Rich Eisen show is on Roku. So we're going to be on Roku like Rich Eisen. I'm assuming Rich Eisen makes decent money, right? Or else, Rich wouldn't.
Yeah, he does.
It wouldn't keep running his show on Roku. So people are watching that Roku, but Now y'all have a whole new reason to watch Roku. Now you just go to the Tejano, the KLMO Tejano Roku website. It's Tejano Radio, and I'll post all of the logos. I tweeted it out already just a minute ago. I'll put them on all of our socials and make a big deal about this tomorrow. Hopefully, when people start waking up tomorrow, the people that aren't watching our show live, they start seeing what's going on. They'll start commenting it all. All right, anybody you need a punch, sir, before we get out of here tonight? Ruben, I ain't faded. I hit the wrong button. It was an accident. I got too many things.
No,
going
he
on.
ain't faded. He ain't faded. He's not faded.
I'm
I know
fine.
when Mike's faded. I know when Mike's faded. Mike ain't faded.
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm gonna say the Chiefs / Andy Reid / Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
You know, when we're talking about the Super Bowl as a whole. You've been saying this the entire season. You were like, hey, you know what, Rudy? This Chiefs team, they don't look good. They played bad. They've had these situations where they're not really that good. And tonight, it showed. It showed tonight. Like Patrick Mahomes, it was
their issues.
It was the closest thing.
Their issues totally did.
Yeah, it was the closest thing to the Chiefs versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. He was under duress all night long.
Yeah.
There was no running game, and they didn't have any receivers, and Travis Kelce looked old. So punch them as a whole. And you know what? When I look like, damn, Buffalo couldn't beat this team. Buffalo could not beat this Chiefs team.
This is the second game they lost all year. They lost to Buffalo in the regular season. And
they couldn't. And I really liked this Buffalo team. I liked the Baltimore Ravens team. You know what I mean? And this is what they put on display tonight.
See.
So I punch all of them because they made this a very awful. A lot of people in the chat been commenting, but they made this an awful, awful Super Bowl tonight.
Right.
So if you want to punch Patrick Mahomes, if you want to punch the running game, if you want to punch Andy Reid, I don't know who it is you want to punch, but the Chiefs, this looked like Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. This was not a very good football team that we saw tonight.
No.
So is the AFC bad?
No. Patrick Mahomes is just that badass. And their defense is great. Everything just snowballed on them tonight, though. Their weaknesses that they've had, lack of skilled players, struggling on offense, no offensive line. That's the reason why I didn't pick him in any of the playoff games, which is why you kicked my ass in the playoff picks this year. I picked against the Chiefs in every game in the playoffs until this one. I'm like, well, shit, I just thought their weaknesses would catch them at some point in the postseason. I thought they were going to lose to Buffalo. Shitty-ass call bailed Kansas City out in winning time, or else Buffalo may have beaten them 2 weeks ago in Kansas City. But finally, they were bend, don't break all year, and finally they bent too far. And the Eagles had a master game plan, executed on an amazingly high level. Everybody that suited up for the Eagles tonight that played seemed to make a play, every single one of them. And it just all snowballed on Kansas City in the wrong direction tonight. It doesn't take away from the Chiefs. There's not like their run's over. Patrick Mahomes is 29, 28. He'll be back. They're going to go overhaul their offensive line, guaranteed. Their asses ain't going anywhere. Tom Brady can still go down as the most successful quarterback ever, but Mahomes is not done yet. And, Brady lost 3 Super Bowls. Mahomes has now lost 2. Mahomes needs to get busy winning if he's going to start thinking about catching Tom Brady, though. But tonight belonged to Philly. That's an outstanding
We
organization.
had a pick six.
15-year run of greatness. They've been to the Super Bowl. In the last 18 years, they've been to the Super Bowl with 3 different quarterbacks, have won the title with a fucking backup, have overhauled their quarterback 4 times, have overhauled the entire roster. And all they do is stay successful because they do the things that teams that win every year do. While some teams that I might not mention or might mention do the things that shit teams and losing teams do every year. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I mean?
No.
Uh-huh. The Eagles are the class act of the NFC as far as how they run their organization. San Francisco a close second, and you can't argue with that. It's a good punch. All right, I'm going to punch Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison.
Yo. So for y'all, y'all that are there, Mike's been sending me. So for everybody here in the chat, Mike has been sending me, like, it has been, to put it nicely, a shit show. It's been a shit show. What's going on as far as the fans of the Mavericks and what's going on with Luka Doncic. So why are you punching Nico?
Because Anthony Davis is going to be out at least a month after fucking up his stomach muscle the other night in his first game.
Since you played that twice now, I got to jump in there. Do we have the rights to the music that's playing behind that?
I don't know. Don't ask. Don't tell.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'll find out when we get our ad revenue pulled on this show.
Well, it's got a guy gritoing behind it. Does that not bail us out?
Where'd the music come from?
Some dude on Twitter in San Antonio sent it to us about 4 years ago, I think. That's where I got it, from a tweet from a dude who patched it together.
So no, we don't have the rights.
Well, no, but the Twitter guy gave us permission. Some rando listeners where I got it. God knows how long ago. He was balling his ass off too.
First half, he had 24 in the first half.
Yeah, it was like the most successful debut ever by a guy on a new team. And what happens early in the third? He aggravates his adductor strain that he had been dealing with already and made it worse. And now he's out at least a month. A month.
It's a month? They've said that?
Maybe. Yeah. It's multiple weeks, expected to be at least a month. Yeah.
So he ain't coming back till mid-March.
Right. And they're hoping he's back for the playoffs. Could not get through a game without getting hurt. Meanwhile, I hope Luka scores 50 tomorrow night in his debut for LA.
Luka will probably have a triple-double. Yeah. But it's like, damn, when I'm sitting there, Mike and I are texting each other, and I'm like, damn, I like what Anthony Davis is doing. And then, boom, he takes one wrong step. Doesn't go to the bench. See, this is what y'all got to used to, Mavs fan. When AD doesn't feel right, he doesn't go to the bench and let the trainers do their job. He goes straight to the locker room. This was with the Pelicans, this was with the Lakers, and now this is with the Mavericks. This is a part of dealing with Anthony Davis. Like, you watch him and you're like, oh my God, he's great. He blocks shots. He rebounds. He can pass. Mid-range. Gets on the post. Like, he is great. He's great. He's a really, really good basketball player. But the other side of it is, if he steps wrong, if he breathes wrong, if he falls down wrong, he goes straight to the locker room and you never see him again.
Yep. Right. It's unfortunate and so funny. So
it's funny.
The worst. Yeah, it's funny to watch them pull off this insane trade, have the whole world come down against them, have half their fans protesting outside of the arena, and then the dude doesn't get out of the first game without getting hurt for a month. Although they do win the game, they've beaten, since the trade, they blew the Celtics out in Boston and then handled Houston relatively easily the other night when AD got hurt. It's kind of ironic, but it's just so funny that Davis is out and hurt. And you watch Luka's going to be just fine playing with LeBron in L.A. And L.A.'s playing better ball right now, too. It's just funny as shit. All right, if you are in need of a family lawyer, Orlando Kell is our guy. And not just divorces, adoption cases. Maybe you're already divorced and y'all need to make a change to your decree. Somebody's got a new job. Somebody's got a raise. Kids want to live with somebody else, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you can't just have a handshake. You want to get that on paper. They do that kind of thing too. Anything with family. He's taking on cases that involve stepkids, parents, grandparents, all these kinds of things. Custody battles. Orlando handles all that. He's our official family man when it comes to law. The official family lawyer, Orlando Kell. 210-775-4995. Or you can email him directly, orlandokell.law@gmail.com, orlandokell.law@gmail.com. Quick punch for Mitch Johnson, too, by the way, Spurs interim coach.
Well, because they lost to Orlando after losing to Charlotte? Why?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, since the trade, they've had the last 3 games, they've played 3 teams under 500. A Hawks team that are mailing it in, have traded 3 starters already. Charlotte, who won 15 effing games all season. In Orlando, that's just kind of hovering around 500, but under. So they've played 3 straight games here since the Fox trade against teams that are under 500. They're 1-2, with one of those losses coming against shitty-ass Charlotte, which LaMelo Ball torched their butts. And they've lost 2 straight games to shitty teams by 1 point. That sucks. That ain't it. They're further away from the play-in than they've been at any point this season. Pisses me off. They're going to wind up with a lottery pick. They don't watch out. They're going to have a better chance of getting the number 1 pick than Atlanta, the way they're playing. I'm upset. This is not good. Not good. I need them to get their shit together real quick. They're running out of time to tank the play-in. You know what? They lose 2 or 3 more in a row. You might as well just tank the season and get your ass into the lottery, because who cares at the play-in at that point? Just get into the offseason, get your lottery pick. Yeah, they've got 2 number 1s with Atlanta's, and get to the offseason, go bring in some free agents, draft 2 new kids, make some decisions. Let's get on to the next year, because it is going to be fine. D. Fox and Wemby are going to be great together. Just about pulling everybody else's ass out. And we also have, as I've said, we have got to figure out who the coach is going to be. Maybe they already know. I just don't see how you go into the offseason without any kind of assurances on what Greg Popovich is going to do. And if Pop is indeed done, like I think he probably is, I need to know who the replacement's going to be long-term, the permanent replacement. Name Mitch, hire somebody else, or Pop needs to come back, because you can't manage, especially for the offseason. You cannot go into the offseason not knowing who the coach is. You got to take care of that fast. If Pop doesn't return for the rest of the season, day 1 off season, first order of business, hire a coach. So that's it. So punch Mitch Johnson. Probably not fair, but I'm blaming him for the back-to-back 1 point beats.
No, it is fair. It's fair because you're there. He's there. This is the guy. He's the guy right now. So it is fair. Don't apologize for that. It's fair.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed for losing. I don't like losing. Not like that 1-1. 1 point losses. But if they had back-to-back 1 point losses to the Lakers and the Mavericks, all right, that still sucks.
Then you could do it.
We talking about the Hornets. Miss me with that shit.
And Orlando. I thought they would start this rodeo road trip because they got Fox. I thought they would start 4-0. Didn't work out. Has not worked out up to this point, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Share with your buddies this show. Tell everybody we've got a really good podcast we do at least 5 days a week, usually more, on Love You Hard TV on YouTube. It's called In the Building. And tell your buddies about In the Building Radio that debuts Thursday, March the 6th. So we've got just under a month here to really promote it. So by that first Thursday, hopefully we'll have a whole lot of folks that are by the channel of 92.1 K Alamo Radio and Magic 94 in Corpus, Magic 95 in Victoria, El Paso Internet Radio, Uvalde, and on the Roku channel. So we're excited about that. All right, that's it. We're done. Eagles are the champs. Hopefully we'll have 2 new teams next year, because I was not only bored by the game, but I do have logo fatigue for both of these. But hey, like the Eagles and Chiefs, somebody should do some shit about it.
Do something about
Somebody
it.
do something about it. All right, Rudy, thank you, man. Get some rest. We're off tomorrow. Everybody should be off on the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. Back in here for Ass Whip Tuesday at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Love y'all hard. Peace out.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.